Mike Handz.
Hey.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Same to you.
Thank you for interviewing us.
Thanks.
Validated Magazine. We appreciate you.
Thanks for thinking I'm worth the conversation.
Absolutely. You definitely are.
Oh man.
So, talking about you and what you're doing right now, how did it come about signing to Def Squad?
Oh, it's crazy. So I'm what some people consider a hybrid because I think I'm in a very unique space as an artist. I just spent the last 7 years with a legendary team, the Boot Camp Clik. So traveling the world with the boot camp and recording and training myself and getting tutored, by the likes of Sean Price and Rock Les Monster, General Steel Tech, Buckshot, so on and so forth.
Right.
I was actually already in a pretty decent space in the ideals of hip hop.
Okay.
Right? But then you got to ask yourself what your end game is and what you're looking to do. And sometimes you realize that you may have maxed out where you were. And
Absolutely.
This is my family. So the thing about boot camp was never a record deal. It was never a music relationship. That's my family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm a 23-year veteran Decepticon, so that's my family. You know what I mean? Yeah, if I didn't have the sleeve on,
I went to Julia Richmond. I know.
You already. But yeah. So that's what that is. So it really wasn't limited to my musical journey.
Okay.
So it opened up the idea that when the Def Squad opportunity came to the table, that it wasn't anything that would compromise loyalty or anything like that. It was just a growth scenario. But those are my big brothers. So I went to Steel and I went to Rock and I had a conversation. Like, listen, I got this opportunity, and they seem like they want to take a shot on me, and they looked at me like, then why are we here? Like, what are you doing? And just let us know when you need us. So that was a beautiful thing, because at first I was a little conflicted on how it was going to go down, because there was a lot of good moments and they showed me a lot. And I'll be honest, a lot of the acceleration of my notoriety or some of my opportunities definitely came because I waved that boot camp flag. So I never wanted to look like I was stealing from the table.
Right, because you're loyal. It's about loyalty.
Yeah, man. Like, those are my guys. So when they co-signed, they were like, nah, go get that. Then it was like, all right, say no more. And then the beautiful part is when I got here, first thing Erick told me was, your album's up next. I'm like, okay, cool. He was like, I want your whole team in here when we do it, though.
Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
that let me know that the bridge was open and the communication was right. And it was just a blessing. So, I mean, one thing led to another. But truthfully, I didn't come to Def Squad as an artist. I came to Def Squad first and foremost as a business person.
Okay.
Salute Kim Sermon and my cousin DJ Diamond, the artist who's the DJ for EPMD and in-house, who was kind of, plugging me. But Kim met me on a business note, and they have Def Rugs and Def Decor and Home, and the dialogue was something along the lines of brand manager or regional brand manager for Def Rugs and marketing and branding, because of the other things I've done. And then when we started that conversation, then it came out that I had this passion for the music side. And I think in the midst of Erick and them doing their research, like, who is this kid that you want us to work with? Well, what about this over here? Like, why aren't we talking about this? So then when we sat down, we got into the music conversation. And it was funny because we were sitting literally right where we are right now. And he's like, let me hear something. So I spit something, and his face did what every rapper want to see, just did the ugly, something smell crazy face.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool, that's one. And then we got to talking about, well, what do you think your limitations are? And I'm like, well, truth be told, like right now I'm with an underground family, and I have an underground fan base that I've inherited, but I sing, and I sang long before I started rhyming. So it's like, I got records I've done that I can't let them hear. Like, they don't want that from me. They want to hear me talk street crazy shit. They don't want to really hear me with ballad hooks and bridges. So he's like, what you talking about? So I sang a hook for him, and he looked at me real crazy, like, wait, you really do that? Like, yeah. Absolutely. He was like, but it sound hood though. I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, well, I just don't have the platform for these other records. He said, what do you do now? And then
And that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
So what is it like working with three legends? I mean, you got Ty Fyffe, Erick Sermon, and Rockwilder. Explain that experience.
And that's not taken away from Bugs
And anybody else that's working on it.
The dudes that are already here. Truth be told, I came to the table with Freedom Lyles, who's also 12 times platinum plus. There's my business partner, Phantom of the Beat, who's the original Handz from the UMCs. He's multi-platinum as well. So I was actually groomed by multi-platinum producers. But this is different because this is the Funk Lord, Erick Sermon. And then, come on. Anytime they name the whole song after you because the beat that crazy, Rockwilder, come on.
Right.
Now?
Right.
I think I freestyled over all of their music half my career. I could only rhyme because they made beats. Because I used to freestyle over their instrumentals, you know what I'm saying? And then Ty Fyffe, which was crazy. I used to be a model years ago. One of the companies I was working with, at the time that he did Money in the Bank, I think, or Loose Change, I forget which one it was, Piggy Bank with 50. The record's popping. It's probably the hottest record in the city at the time. And Ty's doing like this, I don't call it a showcase, but a contest of some sort. And I get asked as one of the people to sit on the panel. So that's how I first met Ty Fyffe. So I'm still slim kid, long hair, and model ass, pardon me. And we sit down and we do this whole thing. It pays me no mind, for real, if you ask me.
Right.
Like I'm just there, just take a picture, face dude, like just do it. And then Rockwilder used to work with one of my sisters, Bamboo, so I had been in the studio with him before, but again, nobody's paying me no mind. I was just the extra kid there. Erick, I actually met Parrish first. Parrish came to record in one of my studios. So I met Parrish first, and I remember we were at Art of Rap at the Radio City, and I met Erick really formally for the first time, and he played me to the left. Hey, what's going on here? How you doing? Damn it.
All right, bye, thanks.
Yeah. He hit me with the future, you know what I'm saying? Good looking, but not thanks. And we went on, and then it's ironic how the world works. And
it is.
when it circles back around and they take interest in you at all, you're now part of a conversation. And when that conversation starts, they tend to have those conversations amongst people they respect. And then when your name starts to float around amongst people they respect, and those people tend to respect you, now it starts to become a different conversation.
Absolutely.
So it's like, yeah, I met this kid, Mike Handz. Oh, Mike, that's my man.
Right.
Oh, yeah, this kid, Mike. Oh, yeah, he makes my clothes. Or he used to manage this. So and then it becomes a different dialogue. So then Erick comes back like, yo, who are you?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you... And then we got to talking, and before you know it, we really just started building, and the margins of the relationship changed. So this whole Def Squad thing is, I think, a long time coming by way of the long way.
Basically.
Like, I walked here.
Right.
There was no fast track. I walked.
And you get a better result that way anyway, and you appreciate it more.
I do.
So
I do.
that's what's up.
And when I thought I should have been on, I wasn't ready. I would have got crushed by this game.
Exactly. So that's good. That's a blessing.
Absolutely. I feel validated now.
You should.
Y'all see what I did there?
Validated.
All right,
I know. Only two
I got
eyes
you.
understand that. I get it. Look. So, with you being validated, talk about the blacklist. I heard that every track is fire. Talk about it.
I appreciate that. What's crazy is the blacklist is dedicated to my mom, who passed in September.
Blessings.
What made it so crazy is I went down to Tampa to do a show, and I recorded 80% of the blacklist during that weekend while I was in Tampa with Black Market and LLC, and they produced the whole thing, and we just were doing something. We didn't know what we were doing, and all of those records ended up becoming the blacklist. And it was an EP really to start the relationship between me and those producers. That's how it happened. Salute Tracks and Drums and Bricks and P. That's how that happened. And before you knew it, it started to take shape, and it's a special project for me because one, it's the first thing that I've really released since she passed. And then secondly, it's the first time that my eldest son that I was grooming, I got to put on a published piece of work.
Wow.
So the opening song, Strange Things, is featuring my oldest son, Lex King. So I think that was dope for me. So it's an important project for me. But truth be told, Hell on My Back, Heaven in My Wake, which is the full-length album that came out right before that. That's probably my favorite work to date. Yeah.
So but you got some singing on there?
Yeah, I sing all the hooks on there,
nice.
Except for the reggae hook. But actually, I did do the reggae hook too. But there's a reggae verse on there that my guy did. But yeah, I did that too. But yeah, I'm singing on that record. They took all the records that I did for Blacklist with vocals on it and pulled it for Blacklist 2. So they wanted Blacklist 2 to have a smoother vibe to it.
Okay.
So they wanted more street records for this one. So they kept Blacklist a little bit
yeah, I heard
a little bit more
rough and
to the edge.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about it is there's a series. So there's Blacklist, Rise of the Daywalker. Then the second one is Lestat, King of the Damned. So I keep it in this vampire theme because I feel like since she passed, I've been kind of walking dead in your face and you don't realize it. So that's why those themes are there. And then the next full-length album, which is finished, short one record, is called Golden Era Timeless. And Seismograph out of France did that whole project. And I'm waiting on the MOP record to close out. So that's me. And it's the whole MOP. So it's Dan's, Fame, and Teflon.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, we appreciate you. We're looking forward to the album, absolutely, and everything else that you got coming along.
Yeah, the Def Squad stuff is,
yeah.
I just don't know what I can talk about. But I know we got a single dropping next week called Funk House that has R.J. Payne, Ren Thomas, myself, Keith Murray, Freddie Fox, and K Solo.
You ready?
That should be. Yeah,
definitely
that's an ugly one, produced by Rockwilder. So that's crazy.
That's what's up.
So yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Just out here, you know. Just my mama's son.
Well, thank God for that.
And make sure y'all watch that Rap Starter series, man. It's out on YouTube. And Project Heat Season 3. Look for your boy, man. Judgment.